brain went.
I always say start streaming these dudes. That's what I always say. Hi,
Hello, the internet.
Hey,
Get in here and let's
how
internet
are you,
together.
Internet?
Come to me, internet friends.
Yeah. Hey, Internet people.
Hey, where's that notification? That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
No notification for you.
Really?
Not allowed.
Hey, watch live now.
Oh, okay.
Bad movie friends.
Best movie friends.
Maybe my phone's just being slow today. My phone's late second act jet leading.
Come on. I command you to show me the BMFcast. So that I may copy and or paste. There we go. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, we're live.
There it is.
I don't need a notification on my phone to know in my heart what's true.
Jens has arrived. Hello, Jens.
This movie did not have a Goldsmith score.
Yet here he is anyway. What a man.
He's a good man.
What
Strong
a man,
man.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
This isn't even playing for me, and I'm still going to like it.
Good idea.
Hit reload. Always
Might not
reload.
have a
Hey, there we are.
Goldsmith, but it has some iron fists. Which could be put together by a goldsmith.
No, it'd be a blacksmith.
I
'Cause
mean-
iron blacksmith.
Okay.
Jeweler, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say a goldsmith would be a jeweler.
Fine.
So Jerry Jeweler is actually his name.
Yes.
Jens is like, I'm shutting
Actually,
this. I'm unsubscribing.
Right. Jens is done.
I hope you all die and rot in hell.
I think a goldsmith is a subset of a jeweler. Like you'd have a silversmith
So he just smelts.
or a lapidary.
Lapidary.
Yeah, lapidary is a gem cutter.
Does he work with lapis lazuli, or what is that? I don't even know anymore.
I think it's lapis lazuli or lapis lazuli. I don't really know though.
I think lapis lazuli is correct. Yeah. Lazarus.
One of my new favorite minerals. They're not rocks.
They're,
Marie.
God damn it, Marie.
Sodalite, I discovered, is a very pretty little rock.
Like Coke Zero.
Yes. It's a pretty little rock. I like it. And opal. Any opal.
Opals are good.
The weirder, the better.
I think that's my birthstone, which I was always like, that's a weird thing. I think that's Augustus. August.
I don't know.
Augustus. I don't know what's
August.
September's birthstone.
Let's look 'em up. Let's look 'em up.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthstones by month. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Tell me mine.
If I know
Yours
that.
is farts.
Oh, cool. That's that fits.
Vapor.
I seem to remember it
Okay.
being something weird like opal.
Pearl. You're August, right?
Uh-huh.
Did they skip August?
It
on
looks
this?
like they did.
Really? I just saw September go by.
That's
know.
weird. A lot of people are born in August because people.
Oh, yeah. Peridot.
Peridot?
Yeah.
Peridot.
All right.
That's pretty cool. Nice little green.
Lots of people are born in August because people
October?
eat all that, finish eating all
September.
that turkey and then want to fuck.
Sapphire. Good one.
Ooh, sapphire.
Yeah.
September.
Sapphimber.
No wonder I like blue so much.
I don't even know what a peridot looks like. So.
It's a semi-translucent green.
Yeah, it's kind of cool looking.
Okay.
I'd fuck it.
You would. You're a big fan of gemstones.
I am.
Only righteous ones.
I am.
Pearl kind of sucks. It's,
I haven't seen it yet. Only saw the
It's
first
just
movie.
white and milky.
I mean, but
White and milky.
Yeah.
Mine could also be alexandrite, which is a cool stone.
Yeah, instead of just being like, oyster jizz or whatever pearl.
It's not oyster jizz. It's more like an oyster cancer.
Sure. It's like cud. It's like oyster cud.
No.
No?
Because it's actually more like oyster ambergris
More like oyster ambergris, am I right?
or oyster like bone spur.
Oh, okay. So you got like oyster kidney stones, basically. Is what you're
Kind
saying.
of.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. More like that. The ultimate guide to birthstones. Let's see. This is the best BMFcast yet.
Yeah. This one rocks.
Minerals. God damn it.
Damn it, Marie.
I've decided I like this Coke move, this diet rum and Coke, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The tobacco.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting too attached because I know it won't be around. It's limited.
Moonstone. Mine could also be moonstone. I like moonstone. I like all the
Is that
alternates.
white and milky?
Kind of, but it's also shiny.
Kind of gray. It's like a lot of gray.
It's got a lot of sparkly in it when you polish it. I would prefer it was opal.
Yeah.
Hey, was opal the thing in the Uncut Gems? Is that what they were all about? Is that what that was?
I don't remember. I blocked that movie out of my mind.
Was it an opal? It might have been.
Why would you show me it if I can't have it?
I don't know. I don't really know what
What
opal is.
was the rock in?
It was an Ethiopian opal.
That's right, because they show the kid in Ethiopia pulling it out of the mountain.
There. That's what I know about opals. What that movie taught me. Something like you can see the universe in them or something.
Yeah, you can.
But it's more like, you can see the universe in them!
Yep.
I mean, it's
I
delivered.
don't think a single line in that movie is delivered without yelling it.
I still like
Which
that
I
movie.
know. I mean, it's fine.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. A vibe for 2.5 fucking hours.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I saw it in a theater, not in a tent, but you know,
Wow.
It was a TPO. It was
Really? You saw it in the theater?
It was a TPO. It was a wigwam.
Oof. I saw it at home, and that was enough.
Yeah, luckily I didn't see it in the Sunray Small Theater because
Oh.
that would have broken my ears. I would have walked out because they fucking crank it.
In the little one?
To make up for the tiny screen.
I think
They're like, tiny screen, big sound.
I think they partially do it to drown out the other theater, but
That makes sense. But then the other theater goes, "Hey, what's going on over there?" Hey.
you can't. I'll tell you, you can't hear the small theater from the big theater, but sometimes you can hear the big theater from the small theater.
I've never been in the small theater there. It's been a long time since I've been there. I hate to say, but
I actually-
I'm just not on that side of town anymore.
Yeah, I actually really like the small theater.
Mhm.
You know, it's like maybe 30 seats.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
The screen is about, I don't know, the size of that wall or this wall. I don't know. It's not huge. Actually,
Oh,
it's
really?
no, it's way bigger than that.
Yeah, it's got to be bigger than that.
I'm curious.
It
Sorry.
just doesn't seem huge, right?
I'm actually reading the chat. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
I know.
You finish your thought.
Oh, but it's a relatively small screen, like for a movie theater.
Yeah.
But it's still big enough to enjoy a movie on.
Mhm.
You know, especially some of the smaller movies.
It's cozy. 30 seats.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
I'm just curious about Steve. I mean, if Uncut Gems is like a warm bath, are we basically like Prozac? I mean, like
We must be.
listening-
That's why
Yeah.
he likes us so
Oh,
much.
okay.
Yeah.
Just curious. Like, I mean, I know we can get animated, but we're nowhere near Uncut Gems level.
We're not fucking shouting all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did cheer at the end of that movie.
I mean, I can see that.
It had a happy ending to it.
A Happy Gilmore ending.
I mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of did.
It was the ending that movie deserved.
I think that's why it works for me, is because all of that leads up to that, and you're like, yep.
All right. Well, should we talk about some Tai Chi?
I think so.
Bring some different energy
Yeah.
into here.
The movie with an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fuck. What number was it again? I already lost it. God damn it.
It says 577
577
on the screen.
Is that right? That's probably
Yes,
right.
that's correct.
We'll go with that's right.
The last podcast I posted was 576.
Hey, Warlock. I remember that movie.
Warlock.
Warlock. Ted Warlock.
I'm gonna do some magic.
Patrick Warlock Burton.
There he is.
All right.
Let me get my sniffles out.
Do you need a tissue? I have plenty,
I think I'm good.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Hey! What? Go to the back door. All right, we're going to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 577.
Ooh, that's a lot of numbers.
a good number.
Numbers keep
Solid
going up.
number.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast, we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. And then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
However, there are bad movies, and stay away. Don't even bother. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags is some giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Do not want.
So we're still on random, just like going through some discs and things that
Just
we've had on the
jumping.
backlog.
Hitting shuffle.
Genre jumping.
Man, we did a whole theme year, so I mean we should be allowed to hit shuffle for a little while. I mean,
Yeah.
We should have hit shuffle for the entire rest of our career, based,
right. Yeah.
based on 1990 year.
Yeah. But yes, we watched 1993 or 4 if you watch the end of the disc, but everywhere else is listed as 1993's Tai Chi Master.
The master
Yeah.
of Tai Chi.
Starring Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
And
An Academy Award winner, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah. Michelle Yeoh of Yes Madam fame.
Yes, that's what she won the Oscar for.
Yes.
it
Madam.
should be.
Was she nominated for Crouching Tiger?
Or
Or was it too soon for that? Was that back when we only nominated white people?
I
I
think
think that
that
got-
was just here's your you did good wire work and stuff. Here's your technical costumes and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I think it won,
Okay.
or not won. I think it got nominated for a few of the
I
obscure
believe it was
categories.
nominated for Best Picture
yeah,
that year.
I'll look it up.
but it wasn't from the acting. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I was just saying, like there was a time.
it was for the wire work.
But yes, this is it actually, speaking of Crouching Tiger, this is directed by Yu Wan Ping of The Matrix fame and Crouching Tiger choreography.
Yeah. Pretty much, if you want elegant wire fu, that was the guy you'd go to for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I don't know how early on in his career this was, but I was a little surprised to see how much you can see wires. Now, I mean, maybe that's just from the fact that we had a nice cleaned up Blu-ray to look at.
It's a possibility.
But, I was surprised how much wire show there was. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
bordering on like, old school War of the Worlds or something,
I caught one, and I never catch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm way too busy being excited about kicking.
It's fine. I mean, it doesn't
By the
really...
time they get to the finale,
Yeah.
they're like, we're not hiding anything
I
anymore.
mean, I think maybe you just learn that, like, do more shots at night or, with different lighting, because this was like broad daylight, hard to hide that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
almost every fight in this is broad daylight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of...
Which is good for seeing all of the kicking
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
punching and headbutting
Yeah.
and caning.
Now, I will admit that the only other directorial effort of his I've seen is Iron Monkey, which is among my favorite.
Same year.
Yeah, among my favorite kung fu movies. But most of the action in that takes place at night, so I think
Yeah.
you maybe learned.
Yeah,
Donnie Yen Iron Monkey?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, he did the first Drunken Master as well, but
Okay.
not Drunken Master 2, which is
Like the
the
very
one everyone knows.
Yeah.
The other one from 78.
Okay.
Yeah.
He actually directed that one too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, Tai Chi Master.
Yeah, other
It's-
than there's a brief, like, wraparound bit where you see the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie, but then it without any sort of, like, doo-doo-doo effects, it just goes right into
Yeah.
flashback.
Yeah, it basically ends the credit sequence
Right.
and goes straight into, hey, there's these two kids.
Right.
And it's literally the day one of them is introduced to the other one at the
It's
the
like
monastery.
it's like a Shaolin monastery, which, I mean, that's what I was getting at, is, like, other than this little brief wraparound scene where it's Jet Li leading a bunch of people doing Tai Chi, for most of the movie I was like, why is this movie called this? Did they just run out of names? And because, I mean, they're very much doing, like, Shaolin Kung Fu. I mean, they're monks, and
Right.
and it's like the 36 chambers of Shaolin and all the, the pain and, strengthening exercises and stuff they go through and stuff.
It keeps you asking the question, where is the Tai Chi master?
Yeah. But
90 minutes of questioning this movie.
but yeah, it's
Oh,
two
they
kids.
answer it though.
They
I don't know if he's younger, but he's smaller of the two, which is young Jet Li. Has been at the monastery longer. He is not really like a proper student yet, but he's still got some seniority on this new kid. But because he's bigger, he's just, right away he's like, I'm not calling you sir, you're not calling me junior, blah blah blah. And just kind of becomes a bully right away.
Yeah.
They grow up, they fight. They, of course, grow up into Jet Li and the other guy who I didn't look his name up. Probably should have.
Jin Suho.
Okay. I think it was actually offered to Donnie Yen at one point in time, but according to the trivia, if that's to be believed on IMDb,
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, of the time period.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But he is
He was busy.
yeah, the jerky one is Chinbo and Jet Li is Quanbo. But the way they're pronounced throughout the movie, we watched the dub, by the way. Might as well mention that
Yeah, we should probably mention that because
because that's what we do here.
we're dumb. Like, we kind of go for the extra level of
Well,
silliness sometimes. I mean, also,
Another thing is, we don't have a problem as individuals watching subtitled movies.
Yeah.
Right? But subtitles are one more distraction from the entire rest of the movie. And so we watch dubs for the podcast.
Yeah. And when there's this much fighting and stuff, I don't want to have to read shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to see people swinging around on wires,
I ain't got time
kicking
to
each
read.
other in the chest.
I don't think there would have been a lot of crossover between the fighting and the dialogue in this
You're
movie.
right,
but
sometimes
yes,
there is,
sometimes
and
there is.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we have had to watch at least something in subtitle, and I will say that, like, the theater going experience, which you're not privy to, being the audience, but like when we're watching it, it's we're usually commenting and making Mystery Science Theater style jokes along the way.
Yeah.
And when we're busy reading, it's usually a very quiet experience because we're just trying to take in the pictures and the reading and
It
the
changes
everything.
things,
Yeah.
right.
So, but yes, and I will say that this is kind of an extra silly dub. I mean, as they go. I mean, the voices are a little extra ridiculous at times.
Yeah.
I mean, even having people that we know. I mean, I don't know when they did this, when they recorded this dub, if it was shortly after the movie or if it's many years later, as it's prone to be sometimes. But knowing what we know now, that there's at least two people that could speak their own fairly good English that could have probably dubbed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point in cinema, I think that was a big afterthought for this kind of
yeah.
movie.
But yeah, so that's our caveats of reviewing this. But yes, it's your classic. Two kind of competing students are young. They both think they're the best. As you said throughout this movie, your excellence usually kind of is like your downfall. Like, you get kicked out of the monastery, or
Right.
like you don't succeed, or you don't get a promotion or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like because it's kind of made clear that neither of them is better than the other.
Yeah, they're kind of
Chinbo
actually
is faster, but Jet
they're
Li
kind of
is
pushing
more
each other
skilled.
to-
Almost
yeah.
is really the only indication that there's any difference between their skills, because they tend to, like, early on in the movie, they tend to fight together, and yeah, every time they try to do anything, they kind of get knocked down by the monastery, who's just like, no, you're a fuck up. Don't do that.
Yeah, but then they get back up again.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to
Exactly.
keep them down. Yeah.
And so they kind of goof around, but they kind of only have each other to train with, is really what you glean from.
Yeah, at least,
the
I mean,
movie.
we never get a full passage of time. It's kind of like, hey, they're super little kids, and then it's 30-year-old actors pretending to be maybe 18 and 16.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Well, the movie is very like vignette-y, where
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, now they're doing this. Now they're doing this. And it's not really like 10 years pass.
I would
There's none of that sort of stuff.
I would assume they got accepted to be proper students at some point. They weren't still like floor sweepers.
Yeah.
I would think at close
Yeah,
to
but
20
it-
or
Right.
whatever. But
But it's implied that they just keep goofing around and fucking off, and that's why they have to keep doing all the
yeah,
all the
menial
chores, yeah.
chores that nobody else has to
yeah,
do.
like the top monk is like Captain Eyebrows. I mean, he
Yeah.
never really gets a name that I know of. But then there's like a lower monk who's still in kind of charge that
Mhm.
has a soft spot for these hooligans and kind of keeps bailing
Yeah.
them out and feeding them when they're being punished and things like that.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
But then, like you alluded to earlier, they train with each other a lot. So they're like, iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
They make each other stronger, and they're like pretty much the best martial artists at least in their little group.
Yeah. And it's also, Chin has learned a lot by secretly watching the head monk or whatever, do kind of some of his moves. Because there is a scene where the head monk is shown just kind of practicing, and he just punches a tree and just the tree explodes.
Yeah.
And so he memorizes that move.
It's not even a tree. It's like a brick, or not
Yeah.
a stone column.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he punches it and then does a stomp, and the stomp is what sends the energy out of his hand, which explodes it.
And
it's a cool scene. I like it.
There's also a lot of comedic elements going on, and not just, and some like, I don't want to say subtle, but they're like almost not even acknowledged, because there's one part where they're just being punished and they're just passing back and forth between each other like stone tablets that they're just smashing on each other's or on their own foreheads,
Right.
and
I
while
guess-
having this entire conversation with
right.
each other.
And is their punishment that they have to break up all these stones, or that they have
Probably,
to
yeah.
smash them? At
It seemed like it was.
I thought it was kind of like the old time you get sent to prison to break stones for the railway.
Yeah.
To break stones for the railway.
Yeah.
But they're full on like Monty Python, the monks thing, but with these cinder blocks basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's little things like that. But it's definitely shown that Jet Li Kwambo is just kind of the more level-headed. Hey, let's all be buds one, and Chinbo is more, hey, fuck you, I'll fight you.
Yeah,
And ambitious.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's if you want an American equivalent or a bastardized version of it, I mean, Jet Li is Snake Eyes, and the other one is Storm Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, even eventually when they break up, it's like he goes to join the evil government.
The bad
Yeah.
The bureaucrats and all that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting ahead.
Yeah, but they are buds, and it's time for Chinbo to basically, they see who's going to move to the higher houses that will learn the better kung fu, and this kind of starts the first really big fight sequence that we see, because we've seen a few with the two of them like fighting with brooms and stuff, where it's like, okay, these guys are fast as hell, and this is where he fights this other dude that they've grown up with that just never liked him in the first place, and they messed around with him, and he's like, okay, I'm going to beat the hell out of Jimbo, and it's a pretty even fight until the dude chucks has a little vial of sand in his jacket, and he pops him in the eyes,
Right.
gets a few hits on him.
Chinbo is actually starting to gain advantage when this
Yeah.
guy does this. He's
Yeah.
like, oh shit, time to
Yeah.
cheat.
Yeah, time for the pocket sand.
Yeah. But what this does is Chinbo is able to shake it off and then just beat the piss out of this guy.
He ruffle stomps.
And I believe what he does is he uses that move that he saw the head monk do, and he hits that dude in the chest, and the dude starts spitting out blood and everything. And they tell him, you got to stop immediately. You got to stop the fight. And he's not going to stop the fight. Nobody's going to throw in the towel while he's out there.
He's coming in for like a kill blow. And
he's ready to like pop this dude's chest open.
Eyebrow Monk is basically like jumps in and stops his fist, and then just on instinct alone, he starts hitting at him until he realizes what he's doing, and then Head Monk is basically like, you're an animal, you can't be among us, you don't have any discipline, get out, and then they start fighting.
Yeah, well, and Jet Li also keeps jumping in the middle of it, being like, hey, let's talk this out, let's do this, let's do that, and then he's like, no, everybody kick their asses.
Yeah, but then they bring out he basically he fights with the head Eyebrow Monk for a bit, but then he's basically
he's actually able to hold his ground against him. Right. Chinbo is, and the head monk's like, wait a minute, what the hell?
Yeah, and he's like, you get out of here, and also send in the guards. And this is when Poltron comes out, because basically all these dudes start doing like cheerleader pyramids on top of each other, but they all have bamboo staffs basically.
Yep, but they're not just like gently climbing up; they jump on top of each other.
Yeah.
It is quite the sight.
It's cool.
Yeah, but basically the two of them, because they've now had to sort of circle up and defend themselves, are kind of taking on like 30, 40, 50 monks and stuff.
And at first, like, the dudes are just chucking the staffs at them, and they're able to keep knocking them back. And eventually, they both are able to catch a couple of the staffs, and that's when it's on.
Yeah. And then somewhere along the way, they accidentally break one of the oil lamps that's hanging overhead, which causes a couple of their assailants to slip in the oil on the ground. And then they're like, well, this is our move now. And they start breaking all of them. And
yeah, but they start doing stuff like surfing on top of the guys.
Oh, yeah.
And not in like a goofy, not like you're going to hear California Girls playing or any shit like that. I mean, it's just like...
It is a little goofy.
It's a little goofy, but it's also like it works because
it
they're
also
just like
fucking rules.
Yeah, because they're just sliding these guys along the floor while standing on their backs and just beating the hell out of everyone they're sliding by with a stick.
I was not necessarily on board with this movie until this fight.
Yeah,
and then there was nothing you can do after that to sway me away from this movie.
This is just when they're just like, hey, remember choreography? We do.
Yeah,
because like everything is like all this shit is perfectly timed.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. Like they'll have like 12 guys will swing the sticks and he'll jump up over them and land on them all at the same point. Like they all hit the floor at the same point. His foot lands right on him at the same point. It's just all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, most of the comedy I would say swings in more like the Stephen Chow, like Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle style of physical comedy. There are some bits later where it gets a little too broad humor for my taste.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I've had this discussion before, but I'll do the quick version. There's a lot of genre bending in South Asian movies, basically because of the amount. The average person doesn't get to go to a lot of movies, so they kind of like want the whole experience in the movies they do go see. So you will have a lot of these like, oh, suddenly it's a musical, oh, suddenly it's a melodramatic romance, and it's
But it is, it's humorous, but it's not jokey, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
is how a lot of the fight stuff works, where it's not like, there's no slide whistle, none of that. Like there's no bullshit like that. But it's just well choreographed stuff. Just some of the moves are kind of goofy.
Yeah, every once in a while they'll just throw in something that'll make you chuckle or make you go, what?
And this one is probably, I'm not going to say the best fight, but as far as like not showing wires and actually like, selling the world itself as a whole, this one's probably the best out of all the fights that are in the movie.
Probably, yeah.
But they're
all
all
grounded, even though some funny shit and some weird shit happens.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where they're just like, we're going to show you a whole bunch of dudes wrecking each other, incredibly well choreographed.
Yeah, it's a hell of a like lead-in fight.
Yeah, but eventually they're the monk who's taken a liking to the two of them.
Their buddy monk basically
comes in and is like kind of stops everything, and then he's basically like, you got to get out. Mm-hmm. You got to go, and they run out the door.
Yeah, peace out. Try to walk the path.
Yeah,
smell you later.
Well, yeah, and the other guy who kind of was running the trials is like, they're done. Get him out, and you're gonna pay for this. He's telling the other monk. So, and the dude just comes out and he gives him a scroll. It isn't even a scroll. It's like a rolled up wood mat, but it has some kind of writing on it. and
Yeah,
something else.
it's like a bamboo scroll.
Yeah.
You get the cheap versions of the calendar at Chinese restaurants on New Year's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's
But this
a
is like
nice version of
This
that.
is a
I'm saying,
nice thick version
yes,
of it, but,
but
this is the hardback compared to the,
right,
the,
right,
uh,
yes,
the
yes,
paperback
yes,
edition.
we get the dime store Pulp Fiction versions of it, the
Yeah.
little wings, but yeah, I mean, basically he's like, Jet Li, everything you have is in your gentle heart. Follow that. Hey, hothead, take this scroll. When the time's right, you can read it.
Well, he basically says if you find that you've lost your way from the path,
Yeah.
read this to bring you back. And Jet Li takes it, and then they're off into the city. And they're basically done with the monastery because, well, like all of these, when you're kind of the best at everything,
You get
at a
kicked
monastery, you are going to get kicked out because you can't stop being the best, I guess.
Who knows? Who knows the reason behind it?
Yeah,
I think it's the. I think the whole idea is like you should have the ambition. I mean, I think the ambition is the problem, not necessarily your skill. I mean, and the one guy clearly has an ambition problem. So
yeah. Yes. Yeah. It just kind of sucks that Jet Li keeps getting lumped with him.
yeah, but yes, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah. But he is basically that character who's the the brother that is always making excuses for the other brother.
Right.
And he's never getting in any of the trouble. It's always he's around the other brother making the trouble.
Basically,
that's Jet Li through the rest of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they go into town and then they see, hey, the world's way different than being in a monastery, and we don't have any money, and guards are just like walking around extorting money from people. Because as it always goes in these, the poor people have nothing, and then the government has taken all their money, or the local warlord really
Right.
is what it is, has taken everything. Like they just keep every day they come collecting their taxes, and the taxes are always higher than the money that they've earned over the course of the day.
Yeah. And this is where they run into Michelle Yeoh, who is kind of sitting just by herself, looking sad, and
She's a lute player in
yeah.
the local restaurant.
yeah, she's a lutist, a looter,
A lout about,
a lout.
a lout about town.
And they run up to a couple guys and try to get some money out of them. And then they're like, we got to get money to eat. So I guess we're going to...
They go up to like some guys and are like, "We're monks," like.
How about a donation?
Yeah, and they get kicked into Michelle Yeoh, and that starts a fight, and then I think some guards come in, and that starts a fight. And I don't know.
Well,
It's
what
kind
happens
of-
is the guards are extorting from a couple people,
Oh, right,
and they're
yeah.
kind of watching this, and that's when we're actually introduced to Fenny Yen's character, who is Miss Lee, is how she's named in the movie. Though I barely remember them ever addressing her by name.
They do not.
I mean, really, I think the only two names they ever say are the main two guys.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, because I mean, there's a couple other relationships that like people keep showing back up, and I'm like, wait, how do you know this person? What's your relationship to them?
Yeah, and they never really explain what her relationship is, but she seems to at least work in Michelle Yeoh's restaurant.
Well,
but
no,
I'm not even sure if it's her restaurant.
It's not Michelle Yeoh's restaurant.
No,
I don't think it's Miss Lee's restaurant. I think it's just a restaurant that's run by like a rebel.
Yeah,
Okay.
So they all kind of end up there.
Yeah, there's one guy who's clearly owns the restaurant, but they're also like, they're the Wong Fei Hungs, they're like the Robin Hoods of this district or whatever.
Yeah,
And
because we're introduced to her because the guards take money from this old man. The old man can't pay more than they want, and so they just start smashing up his thing. And then they leave, and she is able to pickpocket the money from them while they're all trying to hit on her. And he gives it back to the old man. She gives it back to the old man, and the guards are immediately like, "Hey, wait a minute!" And then they're about to beat the hell out of her that's when Jet Li and Chinbo stop them.
Yeah.
And kind of get in a fight and have to run away into the restaurant to get away from all of them.
Yeah, actually, no. I think they like run through an alley, and then this is where they get their horsehair disguises.
That's right.
Because when they show up in town, I mean, the bald heads that they have, it's very, very much. I mean, this is also of the era that kung fu was being mostly like banned by the government and stuff, and so like most monasteries were secretly teaching it because it was like protected. anyway, I'm just giving you a little
Yeah.
weird backstory, but it's like, so like if you were a monk, it was like a lot of like city officials and stuff would just look at you like you're part of the problem,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
you're
so
gonna start some
yeah,
trouble.
you're just like so.
And everybody in town has some sort of vaguely interesting hair. They even remark about it, like, "Oh, look at these! All these guys have weird hair."
Yeah, but they go running out back and they hide like under a horse, sort of, and then it's like whirring, and like a quickly like now they have the weird.
Now they have weird hair
Yeah.
too, like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when I think when they go into the restaurant and
Yeah. And they basically, well, she's friends with them now, kind of.
right.
Yeah.
And this other woman comes into town, or no, this not,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The weird backstory for Michelle Yeoh is so fucking weird. Like she's working in this place because her husband like left and she's looking for him, and she's just working in this place asking anybody new that comes in,
I
do you
don't
know
think
this
she's-
guy?
I don't think she even works there. I think
Okay.
she just
She's-
hangs
yeah,
out and
making
laments and loots.
Sure, okay, yeah,
And-
getting some spare loot on the side. Yeah,
Yeah, and so like this procession of
Assholes.
rich assholes,
Yeah.
or the warlord guy from later, maybe I don't know.
yeah. Well, governor. That's what
The governor.
Yeah, that's his title or whatever. But yeah, I mean, but
So all the assholes come into town. All
Yeah.
the rich assholes come into town.
But this pompous lady who, like I said, I don't know what her relationship to the governor is, but she's part of his cavalcade or whatever. She has her husband, and now he's a fancy, pompous little douche canoe now, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically just comes in and is like, oh,
And it's
you,
yeah,
Michelle Yeoh, shit.
yeah. And he apparently left Michelle Yeoh for this rich bitch, and so basically that just starts a fight.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, because the rich bitch is basically like, I can take care of him because I'm rich.
Yep.
And his life is better, so give it up.
And
And she's
fight.
yeah, Michelle Yeoh is very much like, well, here, I can't bear to play this lute anymore. You gave it to me, I'm giving it back. And then the woman's like, don't you dare take that. And he takes it, and then this
She chucks
it
the
at
loot, yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, who does a typical Michelle Yeoh move and catches it and
Yep.
turns around and is like,
all right,
I guess it's on.
yep.
And this one is good too, because
This-
it's just the two of them. But it's one of the. Is there a phrase for it when it's basically like everyone's on top of tables and the tables keep getting flipped over, but they keep balancing on the tables?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It fucking rules.
I just don't know if it's like a trope that has a specific name, but yeah, it's one of those fights where
I'm
they're
sure
just-
it's on TV tropes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but and like the legs are getting broken off of the table, but she's still balancing it. I mean, it's
at
just
some
cool
point,
as shit.
it becomes a pair of stilts. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best part because like she's still balancing on only the two legs, and she's like, "You need to leave before I wreck you." And then the other chick's like, "No," and jumps at her, and she just kind of like, it's almost like she shrugs off the tabletop with her legs and just like gives it that yank, and then she's wearing the table legs as stilts. Because there's even like things on the side so that she can have them as stilts.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And
It's
it's
so
hard to-
freaking cool.
It's very hard to describe, but it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to pigeonhole the movie or whatever, but this is actually very reminiscent of the tea house scene in Crouching Tiger. I'm just saying, like, this is
Yeah.
a very similar vibe to that, like, where they're crashing through the tables and leaping from banisters and things
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And one thing I'll say about really all the fights in this movie is it's never like Michelle Yeoh just beats the shit out of this chick. Like the chick she's fighting, even though she's like a rich governess, is holding her own against her for the most part.
Yeah. And
It's the world where everyone is a kung fu master when
Yeah.
the plot calls for it. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
You know, unless you're just a regular soldier, then you can just be
then you're
chucked.
just fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are literally a baseball to be thrown at
Yeah.
the protagonist.
Literally in this case.
Yep.
And kind of everybody eventually gets in on the action in this because like soldiers come in and everybody on the sidelines gets to do something every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, there is a point where the one guy's like, the chicks start fighting, and the one guy's like, "Do not interfere.
Yeah.
Just let them do this."
Yeah, just let them fight. Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chow Yun
Yeah.
Fat. Yeah.
Not Chow Yun Fat. Who is it?
It's Ken Watanabe.
Ken
Ken
Watanabe,
Watanabe. Yeah.
Yeah. I, was
My
like, I know
Rolodex.
that's not right. Damn it.
I know. My Rolodex doesn't work.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't even know. Like, I think they basically just kicked the rich chick out of there.
Yeah, I think she just.
Or no, that's when they end up running out of the whole building because the guards come and they're like, we got to get the fuck out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well-
Get those peasants, yeah. It becomes that whole.
What actually happens at the end of the fight, Michelle Yeoh's husband has decided that he is definitely on his new wife's side, and he's yelling at her, and she's heartbroken, and he cracks her over the head with a stool
Yeah.
and basically knocks her
Like
out.
showing that she refuses to fight him.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. He cracks her over
beats
the
the-
head.
That's when Jet Li enters the fight and is like having to half fight and prop her up.
right.
Like,
yeah. When the
yeah.
guards come.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
then
that's really good too, because she's falling, and it looks like he's actually catching her. I don't, probably not, but it looks realistic enough. It's such a good fight.
Yeah.
Every
But then they
fight
get
is
out
so good.
because it's like no matter the fact that all the aristocracy assholes started it, it's like, hey, guards, get the peasants.
Yeah, get the peasants.
Yeah.
So they run.
So,
yeah. So they're able to get away. They get
And-
away.
but
by,
then
like,
they come
hiding
back
in
to the
a-
restaurant later, and I think that's when they realize that the whole restaurant's run by the rebels because they overhear, "Hey, we took the gold from the the taxes," and
Yeah.
they don't even realize it or whatever.
Yeah. And the thing is, Shinbo is like, we got to turn them in.
Yeah,
And Jet Li's like, it sounds like they're actually doing the right thing.
He's like, maybe we should just get jobs here. It's like,
right. Yeah. But Shinbo is like is not cool with it. But then in the morning, they're like, okay, well, we got to go earn some money. Let's go get beaten up for money. Shinbo is like, I can stand outside and take a hit, and they're gathering people around like, for 50 cents, you can hit me once. And some guy comes up and he's like, oh yeah, well, here's like $25 worth of 50 cents.
congratulations, they created bum fights. Yeah. I mean, basically, it's like, I'm poor. You can hit me for money.
Yeah. And the guy that takes him up on the offer just starts pummeling him, and Shinbo's like, yeah, this is fine. It's cool.
Yeah, he's
taking all
he's
the
acting
hits.
like he's getting his ass kicked, and then
Not at first.
Yeah.
Like he takes like 30 hits or whatever, 27, and the guy's all tired out, and he's like, "Oh, is that all you got? You don't have any more?" And then finally Shinbo starts pretending like some of it hurts.
Yeah. Well, eventually the guy's just like hucks a whole bunch of money. He's like, get him in.
Yeah, sends his guards
Yeah.
to just pummel both of them. And they have a conversation while these dudes are beating them.
Yeah, and they're picking coins up off the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah,
while
they're
getting
picking
their
the
ass
coins up, and the guys are just like punching them in the back and the kidneys and shit.
And this is when the other, like the bill collector, the mafia type dude,
The
show up.
sheriff of Nottingham shows
They
up.
basically show up and are like, hey, performance tax and this kind of tax, and give us all the money. And
Yeah, basically says, but you probably owe us money from this.
And this is when Shinbo's the asshole one, is basically like, no, sure, anything you need. And if you need any fighters, that's
Yeah.
what I am. I'm a good fighter. Give me a call. And this is basically more or less when he makes the decision to join the army and make his fortune that way.
Yeah, and he's like, aren't you coming, Jet Li? And he's like, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well,
Shinbo decides that this is his fate.
yeah. Yep. So he leaves, and yeah, from here, he's in the army now. And Jet Li is just kind of like, all right, I got to help Michelle Yeoh, who is just drinking her sorrows away from all this and like refuses to stop drinking from all these giant jugs.
Yeah, this
Eventually
is
has
back
one
at the
that's
restaurant.
like, that's like a 25-gallon drum that she's pouring into her face.
Oh, yeah. She's like full on, like, the end of drunken mastering. Like,
Yeah.
just like, I need all the power. Yeah. Just swallow it all.
Mhm.
But yes. And then Jet Li comes in and is like, I think you've had enough. And they start like bottle fighting, basically. He's basically like having her crack all of the wine bottles so that she can't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Even though she does still probably manage to pour another half gallon down her throat in the middle of the fight. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, now he's, I guess, he's kind of like full-fledged part of the
This is
rebels
another
now.
weird time
It's-
jump because like he goes from like his bald-headed monk, or his fake hair that he's been wearing around to like now he has a full head of like real hair and he's been working here a while and stuff.
Yeah, they don't really explain the
Yeah.
time jump. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then I think I'm trying to remember because like some shit goes down. Oh, I think it's the bill collector people come back and like demand a second collection payment, and they're all just kind of like sitting
We
around
just paid you yesterday.
taking it until they don't want to anymore, until eventually, like, because the guy's just being an asshole too. He's like smashes a bun on the floor and he's like, "Here, eat it, Jet Li."
Yeah, well, he throws a little bao bun on
Yeah.
the ground, stomps on it, and then forces Jet Li to eat it. And the other guy's like, "Jet, we don't want any trouble. Just do it." And then he's like, "You need to bow before me." And he has
not the bun, the active
yeah,
bending over.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
BOW.
Okay.
But yeah, and he has the guards like they're hitting him in the back, and then they start trying to hit him in the back of the knees, and nothing's happening because that's kind of like part of the whole training that he and Chinbao have done. Is they're just like, like nothing really hurts them, and headbutts are a very prominent thing,
Yes,
which we're
many
about to
headbutts.
see in a minute because finally Jet Li just snaps and headbutts that dude, wrecks those other two guys, basically just spins around and chucks them.
Yeah, he doesn't raise a hand to them, but boy does he raise a head.
And for the first like 2-3 minutes of this fight, all he does is jump around, flinging his head into people.
I just realized, like, I don't think they showed it, but I wonder if he was bound. I mean, I wonder if that's why he's fighting like this, because they did have him down. I wonder if they had his hands bound. You know, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, they clearly
Either
didn't show
way-
that scene. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, it would make more sense of like why he's hopping around, like.
Yeah, it would. But I just thought he wanted to get style points.
Sure. Okay. I mean, that works too.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a whole. We skipped over it, but during their Shaolin training, like they have this whole thing where they. I mean, when I say they stand on their heads, I mean like without your arms, just standing on your head, like and doing like practicing kung fu moves while standing on your head, and so much so that like I don't know if they were just doing it before bed or if they accidentally like were sleep standing on their head. Like, but like everyone's in their barracks at night, and Jet Li and the other guy are like on their heads. Anyway, but all part of their
In other words,
training.
they know he's got a hard head.
Yes, but
He is not easily concussed.
But yes, they basically wipe the floor with all these dudes and think that they've murdered the head guy.
They basically kill all of them.
Yeah, but then like they go over to like check him, and he's like, "Haha, not dead." And I don't know if it can be a defenestration if you just bust through a wooden shuttered window, or does it have to be glass there?
Doesn't have to be glass.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be
It
glass.
is a window of some
All
kind.
right, it is a window, and he goes out.
Yeah,
of it,
because
but-
they
believe
barred
that-
all of them to keep all of them in so they don't go alert the guards.
The first and second defenestrations of Prague, I don't believe, were through glass.
Okay. But yes, so this guy self-defenestrates and then hops on a horse, and Jet Li badly follows. Like
He doesn't know how to ride a horse.
It takes a lot of skill to ride a horse and make it look this bad. I'm just saying, like, to ride a horse and make it look this bad is a very skilled rider, because like he is bouncing all over the fucking saddle and like almost falling off consistently. Like it's I'm just saying, like, this is a people that are just like, oh, I'm on a horse, that's easy, but somebody who's like bouncing around like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
he does
anyway, that guy gets out to the war camp outside.
Yeah.
And
But-
guess who the guard is?
Yeah, it's Shinbone.
Yep.
But yes, then he's like, oh, it's my friend. Okay, I guess I murder you now.
Well, yeah, because the guy's like, stop that rebel! They killed all my men, and Chibo immediately executes this guy, just like slices him.
Basically, yeah.
They hide the body, and Jet Li's like,
Yeah, I guess we're on different sides now, but
Yeah.
thanks for having
like
my
they're
back on
super
this.
chill with each other. They're just like, hey man, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
this is like the cordial scene from Heat, where it's like, you know, like, I got to take you out, you got to take me out.
Yeah.
It's what I got to do.
Yeah, and Jinbo's like, you need to like not hang out with the rebels. It's probably a bad idea. And he's like, they're pretty nice guys though, you know. And he's like,
Yep.
well, you know, don't do that. It's probably a bad idea for you. And lets him go.
Anyway, catch you later. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and from here, the governor, who, I guess we should talk about the governor.
Yeah, we should talk about how he enters the town.
Yeah, because the governor is coded poorly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it
he's
is
extremely queer coded, and
yeah,
you know, it's like the evil,
yeah,
the gay evil guy trope,
Yeah.
and also I think I see him referred to in some places as the eunuch governor, so that may explain.
Yeah, that's a possibility because he does say like he has no need for women
Yeah,
at one point, and yeah,
but he's also
It's
campy
true.
and wearing makeup.
It's
Yeah.
true. This man has no dick.
if that is truly his.
I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I know it's balls, but can't quote Ghostbusters.
Either way.
If I do.
Yeah. But anyway, he man, I'm all thrown off now. Anyway, that he's holding basically what amounts to tryouts for like his generals and not generals, but like his elite squad.
I think Lieutenant is what they call
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and they get the cool like black Mortal Kombat armor.
Somebody
basically.
says if you defeat the top guy, you get to be a general, like the top fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, he Shinbo only gets promoted to lieutenant. So it's kind of confusing, and that's probably just a translation
It's a
error.
multi-level marketing scheme. Yeah,
Yeah.
they tell you you're going to be great, but
Right.
you can never really actually get to that. You know,
He didn't recruit enough other guys.
Yeah, you can't actually get to that high enough Thetan status.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
He just didn't donate
But-
enough.
He's like, oh, these guys are chumps. After like 6 guys fight and one guy just whips everybody's ass, he runs up there and he's like, I am the baddest motherfucker in this room. And by room, I mean the entirety of outside. So I'm going to kick the shit out of this guy. And he does. He just
Yeah,
immediately...
this might be the only fight where like the other guy has no chance whatsoever.
he just gets erased. And he's like, what up? It's your boy.
Yeah,
Shinbo.
like other guys jump in and try and fight him, and he's just like fucking destroys all of them.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and just ring that guy's bell.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so I'm the man now, right, dog?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, actually, no. We're not going to give you anything. Goodbye. Go back to the rank and file.
Yeah.
And he's pissed.
Yeah, he's very pissed.
Yeah, but he
Rightly
comes
so.
up, but off screen he comes up with the plan to. Well, he acts
Well,
like he's pissed, and
yeah,
he's like, "I'm
yeah,
going to go
you're
join the
basi-
rebels."
Yeah, it basically the way it plays out.
Right.
You're like he basically comes and visits Jet Li, and he's like, "Hey man,
Yeah, fuck these guys.
here's how we can get the governor."
I don't even think he
because-
really like officially joins them. He just like rides up and is like, "They know where you are. They're fucking coming for you. You got to run now." And he's like,
Yeah.
and he goes with them,
Yes.
and then they ride into camp, and they're like, they do some sneaking.
Well, but I mean, he tells them, "Here's how you're going to get in
Yeah.
because you're going to want to go in the morning before the guys have woken up because it's less patrols then and
Yeah.
all this stuff."
And it even helps them. Like they almost get caught because we haven't even mentioned that they have a. I don't know what this guy's position is. He
The Reverend Ling.
Okay, I mean he's a bumbling Taoist. I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like he's always like trying to hawk trinkets and good luck charms and stuff.
Yeah,
And
but he looks
he's-
like an Asian Pete Postlewaite was all I could see whenever I looked at him.
okay.
But definitely not Pete Postlewaite-ish in his behavior because
No.
he is probably the opposite. He is just like always bumbling, always messing around.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, he's in the background, but he knocks some shit over, and then so Chinbo has to come out and be like in his uniform and just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, just had to take a piss. It's my bad." So anyway, they finally are like, "Emperor's in that tent. There should just be like a couple guards with him. Get him!" And they go for the tent, and that's when it's like the
entire army
it's like the
tent.
Jabba's palace, like
Yeah.
the curtain reveal, like, "Ha, yeah, we're all waiting for you."
Yeah.
And, yeah, surprise. He ratted them out.
Yeah.
and we don't know this. I mean, we assume this pretty quickly when all the shit goes down as a
Because we've seen
as a
movie.
cultured viewer. But I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, like the movie doesn't bother to say like, yeah, you're the rat for a while, but because there's a crazy battle. I mean, there's hundreds of guards. And,
Yeah, this is kind of like I wouldn't say the scene with the sticks with the monks on steroids, but it's like on a much larger scale.
There are like 100 more dudes.
Yeah. And again, there's a ton of like crazy choreography that these people are doing.
yeah.
that just
But most of the rebels get murdered. Like most of the named ones that we know.
yeah, they
like,
fight them off pretty well, but eventually get killed.
Yeah. Chenbo steals Miss Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because she's about to get killed, and I think he saves her.
yeah, he basically comes up and gives her a little judo chop on the neck to knock her out and sneaks away with her.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
almost everybody else gets killed.
yeah, the Reverend, he lives because he pretends to be killed,
Right.
and it's basically Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li are the only ones.
Yeah. I have to point out though,
Yeah.
he pretends to commit suicide. Like
Yes.
pretends to stab himself in the gut, falls over, smears somebody else's blood on his face, and then every once in a while they show him pop up and like slice somebody a little bit or jump up and attack one guy and then pretend to die again and fall over.
Well, his hand keeps getting stepped on by everyone
That
running
also
by.
happens, yes.
But at some point, he snuck off and got a horse because,
Yes.
like, it's down to like basically Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li are the only ones basically left alive of the main people and him. He off-screen lassos Jet Li, and just as he's reaching to grab Michelle Yeoh, grabs her by like her little like purse. Satchel type thing that she's wearing around, but it rips. He doesn't have a hold of her, and then he just yoinks him with the lasso onto the horse so that he misses saving her.
Yeah,
and
from
they,
like 50 feet away.
yeah, and they ride off into the sunset, leaving her. Now she's left to be put on basically like a Wicker Man statue. I mean, it's just a big pyre, basically.
It's big. It's a big pyramid of Lincoln logs,
Yeah.
and then she's tied to a cross.
Yeah. I mean, I assume they were gonna burn her or something at some point, but yes, I mean,
Yeah, but Jet Li, he does look back and he sees that yes, definitely Chinbo is there. He is standing next to the general. He's the one who's betrayed them all, because they do ask that multiple times during the fight.
Right.
They're like,
yeah.
who betrayed us?
yeah.
And
then
it's
they-
like, who the fuck do you think?
They even point out that they can't find Chinbo.
Yeah.
and this is no, okay. So the movie hasn't gone completely squirrely yet. I mean, all right,
about to.
yeah,
It is
it's about to because like he goes off in the forest and has a moment of like, I can't believe it. What have I done?
Yeah,
Like,
there are apparently
tearing me
3 other
apart,
guys
Lisa.
that survived somehow. 3 other rebels, because they're like, the fuck, man, your buddy. That's who it was. It's your fault. And the Reverend, to his credit, is like, dude, he's more pissed off about it than you are.
yeah.
Right.
Like, that was his best friend. That fucked him up. And the other guy's like, well, all our friends are dead, so he's a dick.
Yeah, but he comes to grips with it again, sort of off screen. But he basically is just like, I'm gonna go deal with it or go rescue the rebels. Which really, it's only just Michelle Yeoh left and Miss Lee that he doesn't know, because we've also seen a scene where it's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marian's in the camp thing, where it's like, I've captured you, but also put on something pretty and you're mine now. That he's done with this.
What he says is, I could have let you die, but I saved you, so you owe me.
Yeah, and then starts kissing on her when she doesn't want it, clearly, and then Emperor guy comes in.
Well, she's about to stab him with the pin from her hair.
Right, yeah.
But he spots that, catches her, and that's when the eunuch general guy comes in.
Yeah, I mean, someone saw Raiders, because like he basically busts in just like the Nazi guy from that. So it's just
And the governor is like, I see you are swayed by women. Aren't you an idiot? Yeah. And he goes, actually, no, I'm not swayed by women, because he's a people pleaser, and he just chops her on the back of the neck.
Well, he does the thing that he's done through the whole movie, where he's like, "Oh, I fucked up. Please forgive me. I'm sorry about all this." Yeah. And then the guy's like, "Well, you got to deal with this chick problem here.
Yeah,
I don't need chicks.
She tried to kill you. You should probably deal with her." And he's like, "Okay, crack," and she did.
Just murders her, like huge spurt of blood from her mouth.
Miss Lee's dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it might be misleading, but it wasn't.
Nope.
No.
Huh. But yeah, and I was kind of like, oh shit, they actually are just killing her off in this scene, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And from there, he's just standing underneath this Wicker Man thing that they've built with Michelle Yeoh on it, and that's when Jet Li just kind of like walks in and is like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Well, we're gonna have to fight, right? Unless you join me." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't think joining you is like gonna happen."
Yes, still a nope. Still mark me down for a no.
Still a hard no. Afraid not.
Yep.
And so another crazy ass fight.
Yep.
But now it's just them, and they can like full on use their, equal powered, monk powers or whatever.
Yeah, and they have every kind of fight you can have. They have a fist fight. They have a kicky fight. They have a sword fight. They do a bunch of fighting on the Lincoln Log Tower.
And they start doing shit like knocking the beams so that they'll like swing around to hit the other guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're crawling up it while they're having the sword fight portion, and they're chopping through 3 or 4 of these beams, like stabbing through the gaps in it at each other. It's a real good fight.
Yeah. But eventually the thing collapses.
Well,
kind of partially falls on Jet Li, but
but he's able to chuck his sword at the ropes on her that have tied her to the cross, and she's able to get down. Like, she's able to get herself free just before the whole damn thing collapses.
That's
Pretty
not
much.
really
It's
what we
collapsing,
see.
and she sort of tumbles out of it.
I mean, the dummy that they've strapped to this thing totally kills itself. But I mean, she the character is fine. She tumbles out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's really this is the one fight where Jet Li definitively like gets beat.
Yep.
Yeah,
but they just run away basically.
Yeah, they're able to like chuck some kind of tent thing on top of him as they
That's
go.
one weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's
they
intense.
then they take off, and this is what just breaks Jet Li's mind.
Yeah, he
For
basically like he
a
held
solid
it,
20 minutes
He
of
held it
run
together
time.
like long enough to go rescue her, and then, I mean, if you've seen Tropic Thunder, Jet Li does that for 20 minutes of the movie. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, he's basically doing Jackie Chan in that deleted ending for Drunken Master, where he's just an idiot. I mean, there's another way to put it. He's just being stupid. Like he sees ducks, and then he's like, "I'm a duck. You guys are all ducks too," and just doing. Just,
yeah, but
I
he's
hate
like-
to put it this way, but it's really annoying.
yeah, this whole section could get excised from the movie. That would be good, or at least like severely trimmed down to
Yeah,
just be like,
because-
"All right, the guy's got issues, and we got to
Well,
work through it through some mojo."
And my issue with it is like so many of the people, like the rebels that get killed, there is a disproportionate reaction from him to them getting killed to their amount of screen time thus far that he's spent with them.
Right.
Because we don't even know who these guys are. We don't know shit about them. But he's like, oh, God, all my friends are dead. And you're just like, who are those guys?
Right.
But then they're like willing to spend scene after scene after scene of him just, of Michelle Yeoh going, maybe he'll snap out of it. And then him doing, goofy comedy stuff.
Yeah, like he becomes like the crazy madman in the room, just scribbling everything. Well, actually, that's like after he starts to get
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but I
when he
mean, he's
starts to read
like
the
he's
scroll.
beating the crap out of them when they're trying to help. Like they'll try and make him eat food, and he's like smashing the food in their faces, and it's just like you and your buddy have become complete dicks in complete opposite ways.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I do feel that like look, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know the ins and outs of the human brain, obviously, but I mean, I feel like I don't understand like how trauma could induce you to do things that your natural nature wouldn't have done. Like I don't understand how that would completely.
That's the fun thing. It actually does. Trauma is really bad for you.
I guess. I mean, it just like it just seems like where does that like? I mean, where was this hiding in his recesses? That like that's where he goes to is like this is an acceptable behavior. I don't know.
Breaks
whatever.
your brain.
I guess so. Yeah.
to show just how broken his brain is.
Sure. I mean, it's not handled with any kind of delicacy, so it's
no, it is not. Yeah. But it is spending a lot of time with that, and the rest of it is Ching-Bo showing how big a dick he is.
His reign of terror.
Yeah, because he's training guys to be part of his army, but he's like basically set up death traps for them to get by. Like he's got, okay, you got to climb along this rope net, but underneath are giant spikes that will impale you if you fall off in any way. And like their training part of it is just rolling their asses down a hill, and half of them like brain themselves on rocks that are on the hill, and it's like, why would you just roll? It's dumb. But it's basically just to show that, I have power now, and I am awesome. And
he thinks he's training them like they did at the Shaolin Temple, but his brain has been broken by power.
Yeah.
So he's basically just abusing them instead of lightly abusing them while teaching them important Shaolin lessons.
Yeah. But eventually, Michelle Yeoh is able to knock Jet Li out of his whatever's going on with him by taking him out into nature.
Yeah.
And showing him like how nature heals itself.
Actually, it's not her. It's somebody going by. There's a guy that's carrying like a big bundle of sticks on his back, right? And this other guy runs up to him and is like, "Hey, your wife is giving birth." And he's like, "Oh, really? Okay." And starts, I guess, walking back to his house. And the other guy turns around and says, "Hey, you'll get there a lot faster if you just leave your burden behind." And the guy's like, "Oh," and takes off his little stick backpack and runs away. And Jet Li's like, "Oh, leave your burden behind. Wow, I'm cured."
It probably sounded better in its original
I'm
language.
sure it did. I'm
and
sure the
probably
translation
made
is bad.
A little more sense in its original. But yes, that is basically someone says, hey, if you leave your burdens behind, You'll get where you need to go that much better. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when he realizes, oh yeah, I can read the thing that says if I've gone off the path, if this will lead me back.
Right.
Which the scroll turns out to be how to do Tai Chi.
Yeah. Yes, this is where the title of the movie comes from. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it basically, it's a little more...
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of explains the whole, like, inner balance and, that Tai Chi is
Right.
the, harnessing your chi into, like, full unity and balance and everything like that.
Yeah, but the translation for this is
Yes.
it's basically like he's the ultimate at defense to the extent that when he redirects things, it will fuck you up.
Yeah,
if,
it's like
if you've done it if you're anywhere near.
it's basically judo and Newtonian physics
Yeah.
is what he learns. So
Yeah, because like
Newtonian physics.
well, because he's like
that's
bouncing.
different. Don't
Yeah, he's bouncing a ball and he realizes, like the momentum of the ball, it bounces off the wall, and as if he's able to hit it as it's coming by, it just like smashes through a wall.
Yes.
And he's able to spin the water so hard in the well that the well explodes.
Yeah, it creates a vortex and
Yeah.
then the well explodes.
Yeah, and he goes out and he does some kind of moves in the forest that are able to just create like a cyclone around him.
Mm-hmm. I do like. I guess Weebles or the concept of Weeble has been around a long time. I just don't think I've ever seen a life-size Weeble in a martial arts movie, like as a training dummy type thing before. I don't know. That's just
Yeah, but
But
there
yeah.
is one, and he
Yeah.
punches it a bunch.
Yeah, and when he was out of his mind for a while, he was talking to it like it was a person, and
He was.
yeah. He also played like this is the only really like the only callbacks. So like. I mean, other than like I'm occasionally reminiscing, like, oh man, remember when we were in the monastery when we were kids and things were better? Yeah, but like he starts talking to like wooden poles that he's like,
Yeah.
hey master, like it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does this, and he's able to cure himself through the power of Tai Chi.
Yes, he's finally looking at his reflection as like, look, I'm a mess. Ha ha ha! I'm not crazy anymore.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chinbo's been going in town and being like, "Yo, where's Jet Li? Oh, you're not going to tell me? I'm going to murder your family."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dude, you're evil. You're like, you really suck." And he's like, "Haha, I do, and I am."
Yeah. Would you say I'm a real drag?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's what I'm going to do to you.
Yeah. Yep. Because
Yes.
that one guy
Yes,
gets
he
dragged
murders
behind
his
the horse.
family, and then he
Drags him behind a
on the
horse.
Yeah.
Just and tells everyone in town, "Guess what? I'll be back tomorrow. Better let me know where Jet Li is." And so two dudes come and they're like, "Jet Li, just so you know, this is what Chimbo's doing. I'm not saying we're going to tell him where you are, but you probably shouldn't stay here."
Right.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay
Yeah.
here.
And then and Michelle Yeoh's like, "Yeah, these people have been dying just to save you." And it's a very weird what he says, because he's basically like, "Well, if one must sacrifice for the good of all, then it should be done."
Yeah, if the needs
You know,
of many.
like implying that basically like, "Yeah, they probably should have died for me. It's cool, right?"
No, I think it was the other way around. I think he's saying like, if anyone's going to die, it's up to me to step in
Right.
and turn myself
It just
in. I know.
it plays out really weird because they
Probably because of the translation and the dub.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what
And
they
a lot of fingers pointing in the wrong
Yeah.
place at the wrong part of the sentence.
But
so.
meanwhile, yes, we didn't really mention that Chinbo did get promoted after he had turned all of them in and
Yeah.
like had done the raid.
yeah,
So
this is when he got his Genghis Khan outfit.
yeah. So now he's got his full Genghis Khan outfit, and he's basically the second guy to the eunuch general, and
Didn't he murder the other dude as well?
He did, because the other dude was so pissed off about how he was training him. He's like, "Dude, this is not right."
And Shinbo's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway,
Uh-huh.
and you can fuck off over
Yeah,
there.
and he's like, "I'm going to go tell the general." And so when the guy's riding off, he just spears him through
Yeah.
the back and kills him. But so he's basically second in command now. And the general's like, "Hey, man, I'm going to go meet the emperor and tell him how awesome everything's going here, and it's all thanks to me."
Right.
And Shinbo's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, this is. We will hold down the fort in your honor." And he kind of invites him to go along, and then he doesn't, for whatever reason. Because he's like, "Maybe you should come with me to see the emperor." And
I think they were. I don't know.
But
Because this is where the guy gets captured, right? I mean, was he?
well,
on
no.
his way there?
Well,
I
they're
don't-
going there, but Shinbo doesn't go with them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So he's there with that.
I think it's so that the governor can claim all the credit and keep
guess.
Chinbo from getting all the
Yeah.
credit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he's kind of like, nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so he goes and he's actually going along with the rich chick from earlier that stole Michelle Yeoh's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And from out of nowhere, a whole bunch of spikes just spear a bunch of dudes off of their horses. And this immediately starts a fight where Michelle Yeoh is taking on the general, who until now had not done shit, but is actually seems like a pretty accomplished swordsman
Right.
and doing all like the moves. So whoever this guy was badass.
Yeah. And this movie, whenever the plot calls for it, you are a kung fu master.
Yep. Meanwhile, Jet Li is just doing the whole redirect thing with everybody that attacks him. Like one guy tries to get him with a spear, and he like catches the spear between his shoulder and his head, kind of, and does this little wiggle thing, and it like smacks the dude. And there's just a lot of, oh, we're about to hit you. Oh, all I'm gonna do is tap it in this one place so it splinters in half. And
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't want to regress the plot, but I just thought about every once in a while when we're watching these movies, there's some little moment, and it's not necessarily even like supposed to be funny. In this case, I think it was, but during his whole special montage in that section, there's the point where they tie him down to the table, and they put like a prayer on his chest, and they're gonna leave him there and see if it works. But I don't know why I fucking love that shot of him still strapped to the table, but he's figured out how to get upright with the table still strapped to him, and he's just, I don't know,
Jumping around in circles.
Yeah,
That's all
jumping
he's
like
doing.
dancing around in a little circle, but because that's all he can move and muster, and I don't know, that is really funny, and you can clearly see it's Jet Li, and I don't know why there's something just. I was like, I need a gif of that because it's just it's funny.
I'm sure there is one.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyway, now that he's healed, he's just whooping people. Like everyone's trying to hit him, and it's no good. None of them can do anything. And the rich chick is really pissed off and trying to kill him, and he just works her over. Yeah,
I like the phrase "working someone over."
Yeah, it's just like because it's a Wire movie as well, and we should probably mention this is the point really where all the Wire it's all daylight, so the wires are not hidden at all.
Yeah,
through
not
like the
really.
majority of these scenes, which kind of takes you out of it, but it's still like, God damn, that looks awesome, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's moves they do with the wires, regardless of the wire, that are still awesome.
Yeah, but it's like when you just pick someone up and chuck them and spin them, and then they just go slam into the ground. It's like that'll always look awesome.
Yes.
And he does a lot of that stuff to people from this point forward.
Other than not really understanding why the fancy man-stealing lady is even a part of his entourage, I don't know if I appreciate or I'm baffled by the fact that like the end fight is kind of backwards. Like Michelle Yeoh is fighting the governor dude, and he's fighting that lady, and it's like she should have every reason to want to be fighting that lady.
Yep.
But it's like, and also just on the basis of gender, it's not something you would normally see in a movie that cross fight or whatever.
I think it's because she was part of the original entourage. Like when that first entourage came into town, that was the governor and husband lady. So
yeah,
I think she's just a hanger-on.
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Michelle Yeoh should get the fight with her, not him.
right, yeah.
But
Not just, like I said, not just because it's like, oh, ladies fight ladies. I mean, it's a little weird that you're like making your hero fight a lady. I mean, it's like that's
but she's
little
definitely
odd.
got a vendetta against this chick. But
But
I
it's-
think they
it's-
also don't want to just make her a straight up murderer.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of it. It has to be.
right.
Because really, like the way the movie presents it, none of us would have had a problem with her straight up murdering this chick
Right.
in any way. But
No,
a lot of times you just don't want your heroes to be doing that.
Yeah, but then eventually Jet Li has to join in on the governor fight, and they subdue him and get him, and they're like, all right, you might actually be useful. Let's not murder you just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically drag him back to the military camp at sword point. Well, I mean, they're dragging him behind or slow dragging him behind a horse, leading him with the horse. And then when all the soldiers bust out, then they get him at sword point, and they're like, let's talk.
Yep.
Yeah. And at this point, Jinbo's in charge because and the governor keeps going like, do what they say.
Yeah.
The dubbing on this guy.
He's almost James Hong. Like when he really does when he does the scared voice, that's when it's like, is that James Hong?
Yeah, there was one point where I was like, is that just someone trying to do like the James Hong thing, or is it just did they actually get him at this point?
Is it is it tropey, or is
Yeah.
it trying to imitate James Hong? I
But-
don't know, but it sounds like
But
it.
then later I was like, it's also basically the was it Kung Pao? I almost forgot the name of the fucking movie. Kung Pao, the redubbed.
Way of the Fist.
Yeah, the thing. But I mean, it's like the Betty, the evil guy. It's like this dubbing feels like a heavy inspiration for that character, just in the like, oh, I'm talking in weird ways now. You know. Anyway,
Yeah. But anyway, they so from here, that's it.
they get him all the way into their little encampment or whatever, and then Chinbo's just like, nah, I'm not. Doesn't matter what you say. I'm in charge here. And
They do a lot of like back and forth talking shit at each other, especially Michelle Yeoh to him, because he's like, she's like, you need to bow down, and he's like, all right, I'll bow down, and then she's like, yeah, see, what has your power got you? And he's like, you know what, fuck this.
Pretty much.
and goes at her and basically just like forces the sword up against the governor's neck. Yeah,
basically kills the governor himself
Yeah.
with her sword, by just basically knocking it into his neck, splitting his neck. And then he's like, I'm in charge now, so everybody kill them.
Yeah, and then they're basically like, hey, he just murdered their leader, and like half the army's like, yeah,
yeah, he kind of did.
fuck. All right, hold on.
We don't understand how the chain of succession works here.
They're confused.
This
but
is
they,
unprecedented territory.
But they eventually start following orders.
Yeah.
And
well,
big fight.
yeah. From here, it's
like 20 minutes of fight.
Yeah, it's like, and Jet Li just working him over because now he knows Tai Chi.
And he's good at it.
Yeah.
And
Chinbo has learned the art of fly chi because he just goes and starts grabbing his soldiers and is like hucking them in bunches at Jet Li.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, he's just throwing dudes at him, and Jet Li is just redirecting everyone out of his way. There's one point where he's just chucking so many dudes at him that Jet Li just starts spinning through them like a little tornado.
right.
I would like to point out that like I'm saying this about a movie. I want you to be clear. I'm talking about a live action movie. This is not an anime. This is people are being chucked at dudes. I mean, this is not a common thing you say in movies. Like that humans are being thrown at other humans by another human.
Jet Li is like every time he touches Chinbo, he's chucking him like 30 feet away.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And usually through the air.
Right.
If it's not through the air, it's like a bowling ball, and he's just hitting all the pins of guards in front of him.
Yeah. And Chinbo's retaliation is to just throw another dude at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is that one point where he pushes, like you said, where he pushes like 3 dozen dudes at him.
Yeah.
And he's spinning through them it's like he's a turnstile, and the other dudes are rabid fans trying to get into a concert.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
He's like,
This whole
he's
fight
like Dolomite, the human tornado.
Yes.
Yeah.
This whole fight is man.
Yeah, but Chinbo is able to get the advantage on him because they jump on top of basically the net stuff that the soldiers
spike
had been
pit,
trying to go over, which is over the spike pit. And what this does is it's kind of like almost like a trampoline, and it's thrown off Jet Li's chi clearly.
Yeah, it
'cause he is
unsettles him.
unbalanced. Yeah, and so he can't necessarily fight, but he is able to say like, because Chinbo's like, "What are you doing? Like this is not how you normally fight." And he's like, "I know. I have found my style, and it is Tai Chi."
Right. But he eventually, after a couple minutes on the trampoline, finally learns how to how to fight on a trampoline.
Yeah.
And essentially double bounces Chinbo off. And
Oh God, he's like jumping up and just kicking him in the chest. And,
Yeah.
and like the double foot kick in the chest too, not just.
it's all those things like you thought you were doing when you were a kid playing on the trampoline, you know, all that kung fu kind of shit.
Yep. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's able to kick him out there into the middle of the pack, and he just won't yield.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like his soldiers have started backing up, like, "Hey, you're not chucking me." So, like, the dynamics sort of shifting in the battle, and eventually they're like, "He's the guy who killed your leader." Like, really? Like, you know.
And eventually they're like,
They're
they're
fuck
like,
him.
"Hey, Jet Li,
Yeah,
kill him."
let him die.
Kill
and
him.
they start chanting like, "Go ahead, die, die," until like he hits him with one shot, and he flies across like into like the big gathering of his soldiers that are like die die chanting with their spears, and then he like lands on the ground and just like coughs out like a massive amount of blood, and they all like, oh man, like be careful what you chant for, you just might get it. Like
Oh God, did we do that?
Yeah. But then, like, I think he's. I don't know if he's pretending to be dead.
He does one more little feint. He's just like not like a I mean like a fencing, but he's just like, oh man, give me one more chance, like I can change and be like when we're kids and stuff. And Michelle goes like,
you'll regret it.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
And he grabs the whole carpet. There's a giant red carpet on the ground, by the way. He grabs the whole carpet pretty much and throws it over Jet Li, and then grabs like a dozen spears or something like that and throws them all into the carpet.
Yeah,
and they all
he basically dives at it with them like under,
right.
in his armpits,
That's
and just stabs this bundle of rug that has Jet Li in it.
Right. And then he's like, ha ha ha, fucking got him, and backs up, and the carpet basically explodes, and it's Jet Li just holding all the spears like, you thought, bitch.
Yeah, he's like got a scratch on his shoulder maybe, and like on his side, but he's like, nah, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when when Chinbo just runs at him, just screaming, and Jet Li just grabs him and just starts spinning his head and spinning his whole body, like basically if you had a like standing in front of him, doing the Hadouken, except if you were just spinning a dude's entire body doing that.
Yeah.
And basically just gives him a swirly until he can chuck him out into the crowd, and he just lands on the spears that all the dudes are holding. And this definitely kills him.
It does.
He finally dead.
Yeah.
And Jet Li seems like surprised that this happened.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think I wanted to kill him.
I just wanted him to get the point, not get the point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all the soldiers start laying down the spears that didn't stab into Chinbo.
All those soldiers are like, did you just see what that motherfucker did?
Yeah.
Did you actually like?
We just became plowshares.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to try and stop that dude.
Yeah.
So they let Jet Li walk out of there.
And Michelle Yeoh goes with him.
Mm-hmm.
She Yeoh's with him, I guess.
Yep.
And they're like, are they riding a horse?
They're riding
Yeah,
horses,
they're riding
and
horses.
and she's like, all right, so what are you going to do now? And he's like, I'm going back to the monastery.
She's like, when will I see you again? And he's like, nah.
Well, he basically goes, that's up to fate.
Yeah, but
He says nah.
But it's like that's
You
up to
say-
fate, and then it's just like I mean, it's like see ya, and
You say that to a woman. You say it's up to fate. You are not calling that woman back ever.
Yeah.
I'll come back someday. Why?
Right.
Yeah, I'm
I
married
don't know.
now, so I don't ever get to use that one now.
Right.
I can't just do that.
If you ever say that to your wife, that's when you're divorced.
Yeah, and I like my wife,
Right.
so I don't get to say it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, he's just like I don't know. It's up to fate. Yeah, later, and then we get the
bookend
bookend.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's him leading the Tai Chi. He is the Tai Chi master,
Yep.
and the title is explained.
Yes. Credits.
Credits where credits are due, which is usually at the end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
Man. Yeah.
Hell's bells, Margaret.
It's
That's a
fucking
fun one.
awesome. Yeah. I mean, I would still say Fist of Legend is better.
It's a more. I mean, that's a like a all serious movie basically.
Yeah.
It's not a total whiplash.
Yeah, and that's the
like
thing is like that will probably always be my go-to Jet Li movie, but this one's way up there.
I mean, the Once Upon a Time in China movies are really good. I don't remember one versus another, but they're all really good.
Yeah.
This is another instance of goddamn. Why don't I? This is another instance of goddamn. Why don't I watch more kung fu movies?
Because not all of them are this good.
I know.
That's what happens.
I know.
It's like you're like, man, I should watch more, and then you see one that sucks, and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, but I don't need it to be a 100% good movie as long as it's got kick-ass fights.
Yes,
I like kick-ass fights. I can tolerate.
I think about him a lot like Gary Daniels,
Yeah.
where you watch Rage, and you're like, dude, Gary Daniels, fuck yes. And then like you watch any other Gary Daniels movie, and you're like, Oh yeah, that's why Gary Daniels isn't more popular.
Right.
You know, like that. For every like badass, awesome kung fu movie, there are like 50 that are not good.
Yeah, but I should still at least watch more.
Yeah, there's still. But
Still watch more.
I think there are enough fun ones that exist in the world.
Or I could watch the ones that I like over and over again.
Yeah,
I
nothing
mean,
wrong
I'm
with
pretty
that.
sure there are probably some people that have made lists of the best ones. I mean,
I'm sure, but I don't
There
trust
might
I don't-
be that somebody might have even compiled them in a letterboxed list.
Maybe. I don't trust the internet, though.
okay.
That is their most liked thing, even though they really had nothing to do with it except compiling it on letterboxed.
I don't trust the internet.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Anyway, let's rate this bitch.
Yeah,
I think it's time. I know it's awesome, honey. I know what's going on in your head. It's okay.
it's either a 4 or a 5, and the only reason it would be 4 is because of the 20 minutes of him just getting his shit together.
I'll go ahead and say that's where I'm at. It's 4 because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why it's a 4 for me too.
yeah. But God, the actions is so good that I want to give it a 5. But I think you're right. I think I have to round down to a 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's
if
on
that
the
part was funny.
yeah, it's on the level of like if in Ong Bak, like all the annoying cousin stuff was all lumped together into one section instead of like peppered throughout, where it's a little more forgivable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, where it's like, ugh, God.
yeah.
Yeah, but
But
section
that
is-
also makes it probably easier to skip.
right. That section, sure,
Just-
yes,
just throwing it
absolutely,
out
yeah. I
there.
mean, you know, I would get my table GIF, and I'm done with that section. Yeah.
I do love that you and I like our go-to is like Ong Bak's cousin. Like he's like just like he's the perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a I've mentioned there's one old dub of a early like Half a Loaf of Kung Fu or one of those like Jackie Chan early days ones where they made his dubbing was like he was the annoying cousin character because it was just, they made him like a little British schoolboy. He was like, "But master, I don't want to practice kung fu today." It was like, "Oh, just fucking die." But yeah,
Yeah, but I mean it's for jocks. You
Yeah.
you should 100% watch this movie.
Absolutely. No hesitation.
Yeah,
Go watch
yeah.
this. Like,
Who cares if you see a bunch of wires in the final scenes? Who cares?
yeah.
yep.
It's awesome.
Get Lucasfilm in here to fix that. Like, let's.
Doesn't even need it.
I'm just saying,
Doesn't
like,
even matter.
simple, very simple. Like, I mean, we don't even need Lucasfilm. Like, literally, Joe with After Effects could do it these days. I mean,
Yeah. I'm sure on VHS you probably didn't notice, but
No,
on a high def Blu-ray,
I think it matters so little because it's fine as a movie that none of the wires matter. You're there for the kung fu. You know that there are tricks involved in it, and seeing a little bit of the, it's like it's like one bruise on a banana. You're still gonna eat that motherfucker,
yep, you're definitely right there.
and it's still gonna be a good ass banana.
Yes.
I don't want any ass bananas. Thanks.
Good hyphen ass, not good ass hyphen banana.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's very important where you put the colon.
When it comes to ass bananas, it's
Yeah.
very
Yes.
important.
It very much so.
Yeah.
The alternate name of this is Twin Warriors, by the way. So I think Tai Chi Master is the better
Master.
one.
Yeah, especially when, then I'm like, I would get it lost with like, okay, which martial arts person is doubling themselves in this movie? One of those where like,
Yeah.
it's Van Damme and Van Damme in double
Right.
ludicrous.
Twin
Yeah, I
Warriors.
mean,
Double.
I love that like Double
Warriors.
Impact is not the Van Damme movie where it's the twins, I think, but it's like, or maybe it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, there's one where it's like he's got like another movie where it's like double something. Maybe it's Double Team where it's like because
Oh, wait, yeah.
Double Team I think is the one with Dennis Rodman or somebody.
Yes.
But I don't know. But like,
Because that's a basketball.
yeah, I'm just saying that, like
Phrase.
there's one that's like it's also got double, but it's not the twin movie and it's confusing.
Double Impact is the
Okay.
twin movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Double Dragon. I guess there's
Yeah.
two dragons. There's a red one and a
Yeah.
blue one.
But man, hey, is this the first Jet Li BMFcast movie?
I think so. Almost certainly.
Man, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
It's
I think
like
that's why.
it's
I think that's why it's the first.
yeah.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I mean, I could like I said, I could do without that section, but there's also why skip buttons were invented.
Right.
Yep.
Just know he gets better with the fortune cookie. That's really all
yeah.
you need
He
to know.
does. He does.
I mean,
read the
basically,
script.
it's basically like a simple platitude, and it's like it means everything to him.
Yep.
I'm not saying that to be racist. I'm just saying like that's what fortune cookies are. They're simple,
Right.
basic platitudes of like common knowledge,
Amen.
except in bed.
You know who would be better with your fortune cookie?
Who would be better with your fortune cookie, BJ?
Your fortune, cookie.
Oh,
The BMFcast would be better
Oh, it
with
would.
your the
Oh.
listener's fortune.
I like that, and don't call me Cookie.
that sounds like a very fortunate thing.
Yeah. And we hopefully will be your fortunate sons. Anyway, I'm just trying to plug the Patreon.
Yeah.
Send us some money. Patreon.com/BMFcast. It helps keep the lights on, and literally.
I don't think we want to be the fortunate sons, or else you misunderstood the point of that song.
Everyone
it
has.
must
All
be
right.
about being fortunate. And
I think it
being
has something
son.
to do with being in Vietnam. That's I
I-
think what it means.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It means
But-
surviving Vietnam.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You should have some sympathy for us devils. And
please allow me to introduce Patreon.com/BMFcast. Anyway, it's what helps keep the show running
Yeah.
monetarily, fiscally, if you will.
we appreciate it.
We
if you
sure
can't,
do.
share the show with a friend.
Yeah, that also helps.
Yep.
Because maybe your friends have money. I
And
don't
you know what else is free?
sending us a voicemail or an email. Voicemails 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263.
Mm-hmm.
Emails bmf@bmfcast.com.
All good things.
Yes, must come to an end, much like this episode.
Yes. I like it.
How true. Well, we can't dance all day. I guess it's time to fight. Let's get out of here, shall we? I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. Bye.
Farewell.
Avida say do.
Knocked that one out of the park. Just fucking 10 out of 10 segues.
We were cranking them out for a second there.
Yeah. I'm always cranking something.
Yeah.
My doctor told me I should stop masturbating. And I said, "Why, doctor?" And he said, "Because I'm trying to examine you."
Good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You typing up an essay there?
No.
Essay boy?
I am typing my letterbox review. My letterbox review is: a dude fights by throwing dudes at Jet Li, who promptly throws them back. 5 stars.
Nice.
Do 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 do.
No, I'm not going to do 5 stars.
4 3/4.
Yep.
4.5.
4.5.
There's no such thing as a quarter star.
There is. Apparently, there's going to be a meteor shower on Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It'll be very visible.
Was it the Torrid?
I-
Where are we?
What did Jen put on the calendar?
Perseid.
Maybe it's that.
Leonid?
Leonid's in August. I know that because I'm a Leo.
That is a Lyrids
Oh, the
meteor
lyric.
shower.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lyrids.
Maybe.
They live next door to the O'Flannerys.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the Drachma meteor shower.
I don't get it.
It's another form of currency like lira.
Lyrid.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah.
Oh, oh. I get it. Now that you've explained it to me. It's apparently going on right now.
What?
Right
There are meteors happening right now.
right now.
Holy shit!
At this very moment, there are rocks falling from space
Wow.
coming for you.
Semi holy shit.
Heavenly shit.
Heavenly shit. That's for sure. I just meant that it's metal and it's full of holes. And it's rusted. I forgot that part.
The predicted double asterisk peak is at 106 UTC on April 23rd, which will be
Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday.
So for our time, it's we're UTC -4. Yeah. So that'll be whatever that is o'clock. I might be able to go out and see some stars. I should go out and try to see some stars. Drive out to
You want to see stars?
Ocala.
I'll help.
Not that kind.
All right.
Nice try. Yeah.
Yeah. Come try my Wu-Tang Shaolin style on you.
Okay. Oh, Jens. That's a good one. Well done.
What did Jen say?
Washington was a quarter star.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good joke. Good joke.
Somebody finally bought my old table and chairs.
Hooray! Hooray!
Paid me with $200 bills. Jen flipped her shit.
Why?
She's like, what is their fake? What? I'm like, look at these fucking things. How do you fake a goddamn transparent hologram on it?
Yeah.
It's really hard to counterfeit a $100 bill now.
I mean, as long as you see the
Dudes that are
metal strip.
buying tables from dudes on Facebook Marketplace or whatever are not counterfeiting, they're not counterfeiting money.
As long as it's got the metal stripe and the second president, or not president,
Yeah.
in Benjamin's case.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and I mean it was
actually,
like,
I guess there's several people on money that aren't presidents, but yeah.
yeah. There's the hologram. There's the foil. There's the transparency watermark. There's like all these things, and she was ready to send them away because they couldn't pay with Cash App or anything because the guy barely spoke English. And I was just like, do you want these things gone or not?
May I suggest you walk into Office Depot and go into their pin section, and you can buy one of those little markers that they use in
Yeah,
restaurants. You can just have it at your house, just in case.
I used to have one in my old job.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy those counterfeit checker pins at Office Depot or
Yeah.
Max or Staples. I'm not promoting any one or the other.
But generally, dudes that are buying $200 worth of table off of Facebook Marketplace, you don't have to worry about that shit. I'd be more worried that somebody was going to credit card or Cash App scam me somehow.
Yeah, I was more worried about Cash App myself. But
Or PayPal, somebody do a chargeback or something.
I hate that everyone's figured out all the ways to scam all that shit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why when I want to get rid of something, I just throw it out into the street. I don't even bother trying to sell it.
Yeah. I remember when I sold my house, I donated so much shit.
And now you have so much more shit.
Yeah, but I donated so much shit and kept track of all of it, had all the receipts, spent 5 fucking hours putting all that into TurboTax.
Mm-hmm.
And it was less than the standard deduction.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a waste of goddamn fucking time.
Yep.
And I got so angry. I was like, so literally a normal person will never be able to donate enough to get past the standard deduction, ever.
$12,000 is the standard deduction.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's why for most people, don't bother keeping your fucking receipts for charity donation. Just throw that shit away.
No, just consider it charity at this point.
Yep. Do it for the reason that you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Take it one step further. Don't pay your taxes. I mean, I didn't say that.
I
That's
tried.
probably illegal, maybe. I don't know. To say that. I don't know if you can say that.
You can tell people, you can suggest people don't pay their taxes. I don't think that's illegal. This is America, goddammit. Yeah, I was actually really worried about how all of my severance and unemployment from last year was going to affect my taxes, and so I put off doing them. And then I was like, last night I was like, oh fuck, I gotta do it.
Wasn't yesterday tax day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, last night at 11:30 I was like, fuck, I gotta do this. And then
I don't know when it changed from the 15th, but whatever.
Yeah,
15th is on a weekend.
Yeah, so they give you like an extra day or two.
Yeah, but I mean, it just standardly changed. It's not the 15th anymore. I don't think.
I thought it was, but
I don't think.
Maybe
it
it's
is.
on. Maybe it's on like the third Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's
in-
like based on
second Tuesday
yeah.
in
oh, so it's
April
like
now.
Easter now.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's something like that. Anyhow,
Yeah. Did we pay our taxes for BMFcast?
Yeah, it's a different thing.
is it done though?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, thank you.
Actually,
didn't-
no, I haven't. Well, I didn't click pay. I filled all the things I need to pull up the card. But
Okay.
we
But
got-
it's a different date, right?
yeah,
for
it's a totally different
businesses?
date. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Right.
Businesses get way more time than stupid. Taxes are stupid, but I don't want flat tax because that will cost me more.
Right. So yeah, I get on, open up Credit Karma at 11:30 last night, and I start to sign into Credit Karma, and it's like, oh, actually, we're taking you over to TurboTax. I'm like, motherfucker, that's the whole reason I went with Credit Karma 2 years ago, because TurboTax is a bunch of fuck asses.
TurboTax bought the business.
TurboTax bought out Credit Karma's
Yep.
tax preparation.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, at least it'll probably be free. Then I realized that the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity did not send me a physical 1099-G. Oh, no. And I tried to log in to my my Connect account, my Florida My Connect account.
Oh God. Good luck.
The website was closed.
Yep, they close at 8
They
p.m.
close at 8 o'clock, but it doesn't always. It doesn't always close. That's the motherfucker. It was closed on tax day.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Ron DeSantis,
that
How
site is
how do you
pure
close
evil.
a website?
by being a fucking evil piece of shit.
Yeah, when it was the height of COVID and I was using it, the only time I could get on was like 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m. in the evenings. That's the only time when it wasn't just slammed and fucked.
And then they turned
And
it
they
the fuck
realized
off.
people were able to get their shit filed. So they said, oh, now the website, we close it for maintenance every night from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yep.
And man, if you tried to go back on at 8 a.m., you were...
Oh, you're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, don't bother. You may as well be trying to get Taylor Swift tickets. It may be easier.
Yeah.
Fucking ludicrous.
Ludicrous. Yeah.
Absolutely ludicrous.
Wait, you can get Ludacris tickets on there?
Yes.
Not anymore.
It's better to get fucking Ludacris tickets than to get Taylor Swift tickets. That's the lesson. Anyway, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was
You
pissed.
should be.
And I still am, but I managed to find like the Florida DEO's ITN number or EIN number, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to search for it because they don't just give it to you
Yeah.
for some reason. But I found it, and then I put in my like what I thought I got paid from unemployment last
Mm-hmm.
year. Turns out it was only $275, so it made almost zero difference in my life
Luckily.
for 2022. But and I was like, oh, actually, it looks like I'll get a refund. And because I was just like, fine, I'll defraud the government. I don't care if it's like $10 one way or the other.
Yeah.
They can have it when they come for me. I'll write them a check for $10. And
They could take it off my fucking dead body.
yeah, right.
You can duel me for it.
Yeah.
That's a Hamilton joke.
And then I got all the way through, and it's like, okay, well, we, TurboTax, will file your taxes for $99 fucking dollars.
Yep.
$99 to file a 1040 EZ. Yep. Fuck you, TurboTax!
Yep.
Wait, when did that shit not become free? I mean,
During the pandemic.
oh.
TurboTax and a couple others decided to no longer participate in the IRS free file program because TurboTax is a bunch of shit asses and they make a bunch of money off of people who are just trying to get their fucking
Well,
taxes
you know,
done.
if we're going for libel, then you should probably say it's Intuit because that's the company.
Sure. I haven't lied.
It don't matter who they are. They can fuck off.
Well, I'm just saying it's the Quicken, QuickBooks, and TurboTax. It's all the same company.
Yeah.
It's Intuit.
Yeah,
They're
one
a bunch
company
of
owns
shit
all of
asses.
them now. Just like everything in this fucking country, it's owned by like one conglomerate.
Yeah. So here's my plug for freetaxact.com.
Yeah.
They're not sponsored, but they also didn't make me pay money to electronically submit a form to the government who already knows how much I owe them and how much I should get back.
Yeah. What a.
And the only reason that
Yep.
I can't do it directly through the fucking IRS website is the motherfucking cocksuckers at Intuit /TurboTax /H&R Block. Y'all pieces of shit. Fuck y'all. I'm going to get murdered by big tax
Probably.
this weekend.
I mean, there's two things you can be sure of. And
Maybe both of them at the same time at
Yeah.
this rate. But fuck them. Use me as a martyr. Rally behind my corpse. Then grind my corpse up and pour it on the heads of the CEO of Intuit.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, TurboTax used to always be free for us because we don't have to file a state income tax.
Right.
Yeah.
It did.
Pro tip. If you, Florida.
Yeah.
Arizona? No, Nevada.
And Oregon or Washington, because one is no state sales tax and one is no state income tax.
Right. Is
If you-
it Delaware that doesn't have state income tax?
I don't
isn't
know.
that
Delaware is just super friendly to
corporations, but I think that might be why. I think it might be one of the reasons
Maybe.
why.
I don't
I don't know.
Anyway. Sorry for shouting in your ears.
And one of the Carolinas. I don't remember. One of the two. I think it's South Carolina doesn't have state income tax because Charlotte's... No, it must be North Carolina. So North Carolina must have state income tax because, like, it's right on the border, but, like, it's based on where you live, so a lot of the people that work in Charlotte actually live in South Carolina, so they don't have the state income tax.
Right. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, Washington, Wyoming.
Okay, well, maybe Carolinas got on board and decided to do it, too.
Probably.
Used to be that way back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out and listening to my tax rant.
Taxes,
I hope you got a refund or didn't have to pay.
schmaxes.
I got a refund.
Good job.
Yeah.
Getting back some of your own money.
It's my zero interest deferred savings plan. It works for me. I like to get a little lump sum to have fun with. Oh God, that sucks, Jens.
Yeah.
Adjust your withholding this year. Don't fucking. It's garbage.
I don't know.
What's
I mean,
up?
sometimes I've thought that, like, I mean, I've always tried to have it be within $100 either way. Like, I've usually.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I ever did, I think I got it like under $5 one year. I was so close.
Nice.
But
Did you get a $5 refund, or you have to pay
I don't
$5?
remember. Yeah, I didn't. It was one way or the other, but it
Like-
didn't really matter.
Ideally, you should not overpay. You should underpay a little bit so that you get to keep your money longer. But
Owing 1K. Oh, you sweet summer child.
Mackie bought a house. I don't know how he owes so much money, but
I had to sell investments
that's
to pay
right.
for the house,
That's right. I
for the
forgot about
down
that.
payment.
yeah. Oh yeah. So you're
You'd-
fucked.
You do not want to know how much I fucking had to pay. Plus, the accountant was like, your wife's taxes, she needs to take more out because her company's
Oh,
not
God.
doing it correctly. And I was like,
Oh,
what do you
no.
mean? And they're like, she's like $2,000 short from what she should be.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, she claimed zero. And they're like, yeah, well, the company's clearly not doing something right, so you
Wow.
need to adjust that. So if that gives you an idea, that's before you get into all the investment shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, well, not funnily enough. I mean, I made less last year than I made the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little bit more in my refund,
Yeah.
even though I made a significant amount less, like I don't know, like $7,000 less last year.
That hurts.
Yeah,
It's a lot of money, dude.
it was. I mean, I basically didn't receive a paycheck for 3.5 months.
Yeah, that's pain.
But I mean, that's a testament to how how frugal I've been living that I was able to get through it.
Yeah, and look at you now.
Look at me now. Yeah. Big old fat stacks
You're
of cash.
getting that $7,000 back.
Have you bought one of those stripper guns yet? Like the Make It Rain guns or whatever?
Yeah, but I filled it with debit cards.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with cash.
And none of them work.
Yeah. They're just all Visa gift cards with like $1.75 on them.
Minimum. They're all
Okay.
$5 Apple gift cards.
At the place I worked 3 places back now, there was somebody who was like selling like Bono's gift cards for their kid's sports team or something like that.
Yeah.
None of them were fucking activated.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That person left the company, and then, and like I tried to use the fucking Bono's gift card, and it's like...
How many did you buy?
Just one. I was like, I'll support your team. I'll pay. And it was like, okay. And Bono's was like, yeah, this isn't activated. This doesn't work.
God.
And I was like, that better be a joke. And then it turns out I asked somebody else who bought one. I'm like, did you try to use it yet? And they're like, no. And I was like, why don't you try to use it? And then... Yeah, that shit wasn't activated either.
Oh man, you just made a great donation to the Human Fund.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't like I didn't donate like $100 to get a gift card to Bono, but it was like
Bono's Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Bono's is a barbecue place for those not in Jacksonville.
I've
Florida.
also been making that joke for years since the Bo Jackson things, because Bono's football, Bono's baseball, Bono's barbecue. It's Bono like Sunny. That's how it's spelled, just without the tree.
Oh, this is my receipt from when I went on the cruise. Okay. I was like, why did I keep this random receipt? It says First Caribbean on it. I kept it so that they didn't scam the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's a good call.
They did not scam the shit out of me. They knew better. I always ask whenever somebody comes around with the fucking catalog with candles and shit, I'm like, do you take cash donations? Because it's going to be a huge waste for me to buy a fucking candle that's going to show up in 4 months. It smells like shit. Or I could just give your organization $10 directly. And they're like, well, you got to do it through the thing. And I'm like, all right, fine. Then no. I don't want your shitty candles. I don't want your popcorn.
Why don't you take this $10 and put the candle up your ass? Sorry, I'm paraphrasing by VC Pieces about ordering a was it tuna salad or egg salad sandwich? Like, we don't sell egg salad, but we have an egg salad sandwich. It's like, why don't you put the egg salad on a platter? Put the pieces of bread between your or something like that.
I think it's between your knees.
Yeah, between your knees or something.
Between your knees.
Yeah.
I had Bonos for lunch.
Oh, really?
It was acceptable.
Isn't that the one that's like
that's my
literally
Bono's
right over
experience.
here?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I didn't order from
I haven't
there 'cause
actually
that would've
eaten
been-
there because like.
No, we've eaten there before.
Oh, that's right, we did. Yeah,
That was literally our last pre-COVID meal.
that's
Yeah, I
right.
think
I
it
forgot.
was.
That's the only time I've been there. And like, despite the fact that it's like right outside my neighborhood, basically.
Hashtag it's fine. Bono's quality has gone
Yeah.
down a bit, and barbecue prices have gone fucking sky high.
All of them.
Like, what the fuck, man? Barbecue's supposed to be the cheap meal. If you are out there and you run a fucking barbecue restaurant and you charge a lot of money for barbecue, fuck you. You're in the same category as Ron DeSantis and the CEO of Intuit.
Get in the bin.
Get in the fucking sea.
Oi.
It's fucking bullshit.
Oi, get in the sea.
So stupid. It's supposed to be the cheap cuts of meat, and fuck the meat industry for making barbecue cuts expensive.
Yeah, government, keep your hands off our meat.
It's not even the government.
Or big business. I don't know.
It's big beef and big pork.
Yeah.
Big beef.
Like even like brisket was the shitty cut for a long time, and now brisket is.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
look how they vote. I mean, it's called red meat for a reason.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's all I got.
But even pork and chickens.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
used to be able to get a whole chicken for $5. Now a whole chicken is like $8.99, and I might as well just be buying chicken pieces, even though I'm trying to be smart and buy. I want to be smart and buy the whole thing, less processing, but it's
I
basically more
I buy the eggs and wait.
okay, Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if that's a Mitch Hedberg thing, but it's,
I just said it like
yeah,
that. I don't
yeah.
know that it's a quote for him.
You can't even fucking buy eggs anymore. Eggs are fucking expensive for no good reason. There's no egg shortage. Never
Literally.
was.
Don't at me. I understand the fertilized egg thing.
Right.
Fuck off.
Don't at Harlow for his joke.
Because I cracked open what was supposed to be an egg, and it was a fertilized egg, and that'll
God.
ruin your morning.
Oh yeah, I bet. Especially if you crack it directly into the fucking
What?
pan.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it could happen.
I
mean, I think that it's rare now because like
Very
you know they have like
Yeah.
things that can
Automated
see through
machines,
eggs and
yeah.
shit now, but
I think they
I
basically.
think it
X-rayed
used to
them,
just be like I think it was like people literally holding every 10th egg up to the light or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably incredibly unlikely, but it'll still happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying, don't fuck with your morning. Like I don't think I'm gonna have that egg or
Any
meat
any
for the
egg.
rest of the day. Bring me some lettuce. Anything that doesn't scream when you eat it.
Yeah. Oh, why is my omelet crunchy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't order balut. What the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
I don't think I have bought eggs since
Yeah.
I don't know, like
The price has dropped
August of
again.
last year.
The
Yeah.
price was bad for a while,
it
and
fuck-
now it's
it-
gone
it
back
went
I'm
down.
saying I do not recommend morning veal. Yeah.
But yeah, the prices were fucking expensive, and I was like, I love eggs. Egg, one of my favorite foods.
Mhm.
I can fucking go without for
excellent.
$8 a dozen. Jesus Christ! And that was at Rose. Oof. Anyway, I can afford eggs now. I'm happy. I've done also the most adult thing in my life, and I set up a goal board with a budget.
A goal board?
Yeah, like
Oh.
like a board that's got.
I just
like,
making sure I heard
goals,
you. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
like a vision
seagulls
board.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Steven.
No Stevens,
Oh.
Oh,
no soccer, or hockey. But yeah, I feel like an adult now.
it's good to have goals.
It is. My goal is Scrooge McDuck.
You'll break your neck.
Don't care. Worth it.
Okay.
I had a dream where, like 3 weeks ago, I had this dream. I don't know what happened, but I was falling out of the sky towards the ocean, and I was like, "Well,
I'm gonna get in the sea.
yeah." It was weird. I was like, "I'm not going to survive this. There's no way. Like, I'm at terminal velocity. I'm dead when I hit the water." So it's just like, I'm going to spread out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were gonna hit Frank or Billy. I wasn't sure which one, but yeah.
The water. The
Yeah,
sea.
yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. And I was just like, I'm going to spread out, and hopefully that means everything will just, like, all parts of my body will explode at once, and I will die immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And
Then you woke up.
I hit the water, and nothing happened.
What?
I just went into the water.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I was very confused.
You're like, why
I was ready for death.
why I know splode.
And that's like the third dream I've had where it's been certain death, and I've been, like, made peace with it in the moment, and it hasn't happened.
So you've had multiple
Multiple making peace with death dreams, yeah. Not recently, just, over the
Man.
years. It's weird.
It's fucking intense, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like foretelling, like one of those like you're laying there and you're dying and you got the grenade and you're like, you go, I got this.
Yeah.
You always were an asshole, Gorman. Like one of those kind of.
That may be my future.
All right, yeah,
But yeah, dream me as prepared to die.
okay.
Prepared to die.
Man.
I mean, on the
I
list.
don't know if that should.
I
Sorry.
mean, I was gonna say on the list of ways I can go, like exploding. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one was flying a plane that had the interior like a bus into a building. Not like me piloting the plane. I was on it. Yeah. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do. Here goes.
That was probably some kind of mixed metaphor about us talking about retro 2000s and doing 9/11 again, and you were like on the bus to hell for being a part of that joke, and also
This was years ago.
and
This
also
was
like
5 or 6 years ago.
part of the actual tragedy.
Whatever tragedy there is, I'm part of it.
Okay.
It's an interesting dream. My own private 9/11 kind of. But those are my weird dreams. I'm going to stop talking about them now so I don't end up on a list. I don't think that means that, like, in the dream, I'm never, like, scared. I'm just like, okay, well, this is happening. Nothing I can do
It's a
about
good
it.
way to be about it.
I think that's okay, right? I think that doesn't say I'm crazy, right?
Hey,
Right.
you know what I say?
That I'm crazy?
Young man, there's a place you can go. I say, young man. It's a dream interpretation joke.
Anyway, let's get out of here, shall we? I'm Harbco.
Right.
I'm Slappy.
And I am Sigmund Freud.
And this is your mother. What? All right.
Now
Goodbye,
I'm all
the
confused.
internet.
Farewell, internets.